Today, we're going to be working on a floral centerpiece for the dining room table for spring. Florals for spring. Groundbreaking. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I would like to put some kind of centerpiece, a floral centerpiece for spring in the middle of the table, and I had three of these. These were from the Christmas tree shops a while back, and each one had a different top to them. And what happened was, I don't know how it happened, but it was up in the attic, and one of them absolutely cracked right in half. Now, although I do have green going on in here, I didn't like this color green for here anyway. So what I did was the following. I took the cracked one and I painted it. And then after I painted it, I put on this joint compound, the fast drying kind. And I just did it with my fingers and I smeared it on here so that it gave it kind of a rough look. I thought it looked, more, I don't want to say rustic because that's not the look I'm looking for, but it looked more architectural, I guess you could say, or more, garden-like. So once I did that, I repainted again, and the whole thing, you see, if you don't believe me, there's the color right there. So what I'm going to do first is, it has a very deep center, so I'm going to stuff some Christmas garland in here so that I can put some flower arrangement. And I'm going to make a big one in here, because remember, it's not for a real dinner party. If we were having a real dinner party, if we're going to have a real dinner party, I would, make something low. And in fact, us, Marian doesn't like anything on the table because she wants to fill it up with food. So, but if it was a real dinner party or, Easter brunch or something like that, a low, long centerpiece would be absolutely beautiful on the dining room table. So let me go get some garland so I can stuff in here, and then I can do a flower arrangement. There are people out there that follow me that are saying, Joe, you said you weren't going to do a lot for Easter and spring. And yeah, I didn't do as much as usual, you know that. But I think it's like an obsession. Once I get started, I keep on going. But one of the reasons I didn't want to do it is because I don't want to make a mess again. And it's funny, I was watching Liz from Tradition by the Seasons the other day, and she was talking about her stock room, how it was upside down from, going through stuff and taking things out. And that's exactly what happens in my attic. I just get it straightened out, and then I start again. And, I just went up there again, and it's like, oh God, I have to start sweeping and everything else. So, but that's what happens. I mean, I'll get it in order, but that was one of the reasons I kept thinking in the back of my head, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that again, but whatever. So anyway, here is some Christmas garland, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff it in that jug. Okay, so I spared you showing me filling it up, but you see, I filled it right up from the bottom to the top. It's full, so that it'll hold the stems. I was wondering though, I like the way the table looks with nothing on it, but I'm wondering if I should put some kind of runner down. I am not setting the table. I know a lot of people do that. I'm not doing that because number one, I don't have Easter plates. Number two, I would use the real china because I was thinking about it. But then I decided, because it's too early and I have enough to take care of besides dusting plates off. So I'm not going to do that. But I have this piece of material left over. And again, for those of you who know me, you may recognize this. This is what I covered the chairs in the foyer with on each side of the entry table. I have those two chairs. If I remember, I'll put a picture of it here, but who knows? If it's not there, I didn't remember. But anyway, I don't know. I don't want it to look, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it looks anyway. I'm sure somebody out there is going to let me know they hate it or they don't hate it. It's neutral, yet it has the green leaves in it, and it also has the brown that's in the room as well. I should iron it, but I don't feel like getting the iron out, to tell you the truth. Okay, so what do you think of that? How do you think that looks? Doesn't look bad, right? look at it against this now. Right? It just kind of like centers it. You know how like a rug centers the room, or grounds the room, I should say. I think it's kind of grounds what I'm gonna do here. And guess what? If I hate it, I'll just take it off, right? But let me know what you think. Minus that, Joe, you need to iron it. Don't tell me that, because I know that. So I was just thinking, you know what? Before I start putting any florals in there, what do you think if I put some branches from the yard in there, just to give it that springy kind of a feel? And it'll also be, I'm trying to create some drama on the table. So let me go cut some branches. I'll be right back. Okay, so here you go. I got these from my flowering tree, and it has the buds on it, so it looks really spring. Now they won't open because I'm not putting any water in there, but the buds will stay there. They'll maybe get funny, but they'll still look like buds. So I'm gonna put these in first. I'm gonna try anyway. Okay, so I wanted to create some drama when you look at it from this way, because that's where the entrance foyer is. So what I did was I kind of like fanned it out this way, and I kept it high because, again, I wanted that drama there. Anyway, so I came in here with the snippers and I trimmed some of these off. What I'm gonna do in here, and flower-wise, I'm gonna make it look very pale. And I don't, I'm gonna use, like I said, I have a lot of green in here, but I also have some very small little accents of kind of like a lilac color. The pot that's over there, hold on, let me turn the camera. The pot over there has the green and has a little bit of the lilac. What I did was above the china closet, as you can see up there, I put, it kind of looks like a lavender kind of plant, all right? So anyway, back to this. So I have 3 of these, and you can see they have the buds on them, and I think that will add to the idea of spring. So I have these kind of like in a tripod look. Here's one here, there's one here, and then there's one in the back. So I'm gonna fill in these, another try with these. So I'm gonna stick this one here. That garland is really dense. Okay. And I don't want it to look so contrived, I want it to look kind of like, not random. I don't know what I'm talking about, but organic. There you go, organic. All right. Let me put another one here. This, and I'm going to bend it down so that they're more, spread out. And here's the third one right here. So it looks like I need one back there. Okay. Okay. Kind of like, I'm going to bend this down so that it looks a little bit more, organic. Hold on. Next thing in are these very large white flowers. I think they look really springy, and they have a thick stem. I only have 2 of these, so I think I'm going to put one towards the front and one towards the back, but kind of like angled on each side. Like that. Okay, next thing in have these, same kind of color, right? I don't know, they look really springy to me, but subtle, you know? So I'm gonna put one of these right here, like that. And I'm going to put another one towards the other side. Here, right in here. Right, like that. And then I have one more right here. And I'm going to put this one. Just have to adjust the leaves on these things. Don't make them look so rigid. Make them, you know, think about like how it would really look if it was living. And this way, you know, it gives the impression of more, that it's not so stiff. You don't want it to be like everything to be standing up straight like that. You know, spread this stuff out, open it up, and it'll look more real. All right, next in are these roses. These are really nice. Look at them. They even have the little, what do you call it? The thorns on them. And they have just a hint of pale pink in them. They're so gentle, you know, they kind of look like a wedding kind of a thing. And I'm going to sink these in a little bit lower. Down here, again, bending them. Make them look a little bit more realistic. Another one here. I'm going to stick this one in here. Like that. Okay. And then I have another one here. This is 3, right? I'm up to 3. I'm going to put this one in here. Again, I'm sinking these a little lower. All right. And I have another one right here that I'm going to put towards the back. So that was 4 of these. Right, I'm going to put this up in here like this. Okay. All right. Next. I have these. I don't know what you call them. I don't know what they are, but they're nice because they have kind of like a, you know, or more natural kind of a look. And I'm going to put these closer to the center, like this. This one back here. This. And like that. Now, all right, so I could leave it kind of just like this, you know, but I think what I'm going to do is I have these pale pink hydrangeas, and I want to put these in as well. And then I have these beautiful pink roses, and I also have just some picks with some greenery on it, and you know, that'll fill it in, because there's some spots in here that I'm not crazy about the way it looks right now. It looks a little lopsided to me, so I'm going to try to adjust that. All right, so as soon as I shut the camera off and I came back, I moved that large, kind of looks like a water lily kind of thing. I moved it over to the side. It was too bulky right here, and I only had 2 of them, right? So I put 1 on each side. Then I had 4 hydrangea, and I put them here like this in a circle. And so now I opened up some spaces for those roses. So let me try that out. I don't want to bore you if I keep moving it around. So I just sunk those roses in. They're so beautiful, for real. They look really real For real, they look real. So kind of happy with it. And let me just show you the whole thing. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that a little bit. That was a little bit of fun to do. And P.S., look, I ironed that and I couldn't resist. So I think I'm going to end the video here today because it's getting a little bit long and then people lose interest. So what I'll do is I'll come back and we'll finish the rest of the design on the table. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're doing well and doing okay. And we're so happy that spring is actually here now, and just hopefully the weather will cooperate. All right, everybody, you take care of yourself, and I'll be seeing you really soon. Bye-bye.